today's topic is going to be extremely important because we are talking today about the adolescent age. That is the age of puberty for a lot of children. Um, so what we're going to do is we are going to talk about the changes that are happening in the life of all these children, in the life of children at this age. I'll be talking about the changes and how to parent children between the age of 12 and 17. Those are the most critical age for parents, and the most difficult age. The most difficult age for parenting is between 12 and 17. And that is what we're going to be talking about today. And because it's so detailed and so much, so let's start and immediately. Now, I'm going to divide this into two categories. I'm going to talk about, first of all, talk about the children between 12 and 14, and then later on I will take it from between 15 and 17. So between the children between 12 and 14, what are the things that we should know as parents to parent these people? First of all, you must know that from the age of 12, the process of change and the process of teenage puberty begins to happen. The adolescent age begins to happen for the children. And the children, the greatest need for them at this stage is that they want to discover themselves. They want to find themselves. And they just don't want to find themselves according to what you have told them. They just don't want to find themselves according to what their parents have told them or what they have known from the children. They begin to doubt everything. From the age of 12 to 17, but they begin to question all the things that have been taught. That have been taught to them, that have been taught to them. But the greatest desire for them is for them themselves. They want to discover themselves by themselves and for themselves. And they want to also demonstrate their uniqueness. They want to demonstrate their uniqueness. They want to demonstrate their freedom, their liberty. And so they are looking for opportunity to be who they want to be. They want to discover who they truly are. They just don't want to believe the parents or what the public or anybody else is saying about them. And as a result of that desire for children of this age to find themselves and to find their liberty, their freedom, and their free expression, it begins to bring about conflict, and it begins to bring about disagreement between this kind of children and the parents. And because they begin to disregard a lot of the parents' instructions, they begin to disregard a lot of the parents' authority, and the parents also are not used to this normally. The parents know exactly what is right, and some parents who are not prepared for this kind of change might react emotionally, and that might increase the conflict and the disagreement in this relationship. So it is very important for children, for parents at this stage to be wise. It is very important for parents to be matured. And you must bear in mind that this is what happens to all people, all children between the age of 12 to 17 or 14 to 17. So it is advisable that parents should be less rigid at this point. Parents should be less categorical. And because if you are going to be rigid and categorical and you are going to be demanding obedience and if you are going to be demanding obedience and order as you used to demand before, these children will just respond to you in a very rude way. So this could provoke rudeness from the children, and it could lead to conflict. And this is a very good place for us to remember what Paul said about the parents. He said, parents, don't provoke your children. So this is the time where you don't want to provoke children. You don't want to provoke children between the age of 12 and 17 because of their teen years that is beginning. So the children at this point, they begin to lose authority to they begin to lose respect to their parents. The authority of the parents begin to be secondary. And now the biggest authority in their lives becomes they themselves, their own opinion, They begin to respect more the opinion of their friends. They begin to respect more the opinion of people outside the family. They begin to respect more the opinion of their teachers, or maybe not even their teachers, but their friends, their colleagues, people outside, people they see on television, the newspapers, magazines, and things like that. So it's more like a rebellious kind of tendency begins to come forward. So what happens in this stage is that the parents must know this and just smile it off. Instead of responding and be aggressive and be angry, you should just sit down and have more patience as a parent and listen to them more and hear them more, and then just share with them as friends. Just share with them as friends. Another problem that these kids face at this point is that they like to retreat. They like to retreat into themselves and withdraw into themselves. So they will not, talk to you as much as they used to talk to. They will not open up themselves as much as they used to open themselves. They will withdraw to their rooms if they have a room of their own. If they don't have a room of their own, it's even worse, because then they will be going to their friends, and they will remain where their friends are. So they are withdrawn into themselves. They want to be on their own. They want to do what they want to do. They begin to change some things in their rooms. They might be painting their rooms, or they might be putting some pictures on their walls, and doing all kind of things that are difficult for an adult to explain. Things that are difficult for adults to explain. Children of this age, between the age of 12 and 17, they begin to doubt themselves. At this stage, these kind of children begin to have a lot of doubt. They begin to doubt themselves. They begin to doubt if they are beautiful or not. They begin to doubt their physical look. They are not sure if they are handsome. They begin to compare themselves with other people. Some of them begin to think that they are not normal. Some of them think that they are too short, or they are too fat, or they are too slim, or they are, they begin to doubt themselves. They begin to have lack of confidence in themselves. They begin to question everything about their lives. And they begin to be concerned about how they look. They begin to experiment different things. Maybe with their hairstyle, or with the way they dress, or with the way they look. They want to copy other people. They want to experiment what they see on TV, in the newspapers. They want to give themselves a new identity. All kind of things like that begin to happen. They begin to look for love at this stage of their lives, from the age of 12 and 17. They begin to look for expression of love. They want to be loved, and they begin to look for love, not just the kind of love that they get from their parents, because of the puberty stage and the development stage that is going on in them. They begin to look for love from their friends, from their acquaintances, from their colleagues and from their peers. Unfortunately, it is at this stage that these kind of children have a big possibility of falling in the wrong hands, and especially in the wrong company of friends. They want to try, because they want to try everything. They want to try everything that they were not having before. They think that at this age, children begin to feel that they've been deprived of some things. They think they've been deprived of of freedom, so they want to have all the freedom that they want. They think they have been deprived of liberty to be able to do whatever they want. So they want to try everything, and if they are not careful, and if they are not well guided and supervised, they could fall into the bad company of people, where people might propose to them to drink, or to smoke, or to use drugs, or to begin to experiment in sex. So these are some of the challenges that children between the age of 12 and 14 will face. So what should the parents do? What are some of the things that parents will have to pay attention to? What are the things that parents will need to pay attention to? Number one, the parents have to pay a particular attention to patience. Parents have to be more patient with them at this time. Number two, Parents have to listen to them more at this time. Number three, the parents must try to become their friends, much more closer to them as friends. Talk to them as friends at this time. Number four, parents must try to talk to them and become more like their colleagues and equals and friend, become like their best friend, like equal. Treat them like adults, like equal. Next point, parents must try to give them a lot of welcoming embrace. Welcoming embrace. You have to welcome them. You have to embrace them more. You have to really win their confidence more. Win their confidence more. Next point, show to them with everything you can that they are loved. So at this stage, it is a good thing to take the children out to the restaurant or to cafe, maybe one-on-one with the mother or with the father. It's another thing. It's a good thing also to make them be involved in the church. At this time, let them begin to serve in the church. Let them begin to, because they want to practice new things. They want to begin to experiment themselves. They want to begin to practice and see themselves as needed and needful, and that they find a place for themselves. So make them join the choir, or make them join either they join the choir, or you make them to join the theater group, or somewhere where they could, they could see that they are active. They are actively involved in something. So another thing that you want to do as a parent at this time is you want to find out, ask them questions, more direct questions at this time, how they're doing, what are the changes. You don't want to put them in a situation where they are too embarrassed, of course. You don't want to overload them with questions, but ask questions and don't push them to answer the questions. Just ask the question and let them be the ones to give them the freedom, the liberty, either to answer or not to answer, or to answer immediately or not to answer immediately. But just let them know that you are interested in their well-being. You want to also listen more to his opinion. That's even more important than asking him questions. But the problem is that at this stage they might not even be willing to talk. They talk less, and they really must find your trust before they begin to open up to you. They need to really know that you are trusted. You trust them well. So you want to begin to book appointment with them. Other appointment with them in different places. You can go to the park with them or go to a party with them. Take them out. Begin to treat them like adult, like you really respect them. Begin to take them out to places, maybe it's for shopping or for girls, for example, maybe to do their nails or to do, begin to treat them like really ladies. Then they will find it. Make sure that you make them to find it more interesting with you than with the friends or with the peers where they are. That is the idea. The parents must create an atmosphere whereby the children are much more friendly with them, and they find it much more exciting with them, with the parents, than with other people outside. Maybe you want to begin to cook with them or teach them to cook different things, or to do some more practical things that will be interesting for them. Another thing you might want to do at this time is you want to have less laws and rules. Don't have too many rules at this time, because they don't like rules this time. This is a time when children don't like rules. They don't like routine. They don't like rules, and they don't like to be driven and to be commanded. So they want to be given as much liberty as possible at this time. But if you win their confidence at this time, then they will never have secret life from you anymore. They will be able to trust you almost for the rest of their life and be able to open up to you. At this time, you also want to help them find interesting things to be engaged in. Maybe hobbies, maybe you want to go and get them involved in some activities. The activities that will expose them to a new area of life, a new form of sport, a new form of entertainment, a new form of extracurricular activities, a new form of hobbies. Maybe you want to register them in a tennis club, or some other clubs or debate clubs, or some clubs, that things that they might find interesting, maybe to do some photographing or video or something like that. Just something new. They want new things at this time, or writing club or debating club or video shooting, or just something new, something different, and something that they will find exciting for themselves, and something maybe even different from what other people are doing around them. And maybe if you find also, you might want to arrange so that they fall into the right company and in the right group. So if you have relatives of teenagers of their age from the church or from other place, we invite. This is the time when you want to invite people to come and sleep in your house more, to come and spend the night with you, and to come and be with you during the weekend, especially people of their age, so that they are more finding people who are constructive, who are Christians, who are real, who you could trust to be around them and to help them at this time. And then also they might also be interested in going to spend time with their friends, or to travel to another place on holidays, or to just visit people. But if you can get them around to people who are more constructive, who are more much more better people, that would be a great help too. Another thing you want to pay attention to as a parent at this time is that you don't want to be stopping them from talking. You don't want to be standing on their way so much. You want to give them freedom. You want to let them speak their mind. You want to let them do most of the things they want to do that are not sinful and that are not negative. And you don't want to, do anything that will make him to lose. You don't want to do anything that will make him to lose his self-respect. So, so some of these things are the things that you need to pay attention to while bringing up children between the age of 12 and 14. The next group that I will talk about today is how to raise up children between the age of 15 and 17. Rasmussen said, how do you get them away from the games when all their friends do games? Get them together with more friends, with other friends that might be more, more focused, more better brought up. And another way to get them out of the games is to travel with them, or to take them out to do some more interesting things, take them out to do sports, to do football, soccer, tennis, take them out to do games or debate, or theater or restaurant, or just go take them out from where they will express themselves better. They just want to express themselves. So when there is no way for them to express themselves, they go into games. Now let's talk about the second age group that we want to talk about today. The second age group is the peculiarities of bringing up children between the age of 15 and 17. 15 and 17. So this is the height of adolescent puberty changes in teenagers, puberty in teenagers. So at this time, very close to the age of 14, the changes is very close to the age of what happens in the age of 12 and 14. But this is even more emphasized, more heightened what happens here. Number one, children at this age, between the age of 15 and 17, they go into themselves. That is at home. They might be expressive outside among their friends, among their colleagues. They are more expressive outside among their colleagues, but in the house, they go into themselves more. They become more introvert, and they get annoyed more. They get irritated easier. They get more easily irritated. They get more annoyed easily. They argue more with their parents. They disagree more because they want their own opinion to be heard. They can become depressed for no reason. They might become, angry for no reason as well. You might not know what is happening to them. They might just be moody. So these are some of the changes that are happening to them because their body is going through a lot of chemical and hormonal changes, and their body is being rearranged to become from child to adult. So they don't always know what is happening to them. And one of the things to do with the children at this age is to talk to them about the adolescent stage of their development, and to tell them also about these changes that will happen. Let them know that this is not because they are not normal, that it's not because they are bad, it's not because their parents are bad, that this is not anything of their fault or the fault of their parents, and that this is just the way it is, and that everybody goes through it. So you need to sit down with them one-on-one, maybe go to a restaurant with them and sit down where you can talk with them, or go for a walk or to the park, and where you can just sit down and make them relax, and let them be in a trusting situation where they will be trusting you, where they could know that you are sincere with them and you love them. So you are showing them love and telling them the truth. So make sure you take them out or somewhere, or you have a one-on-one meeting with them and explain to them that you might see yourself getting annoyed in some cases, that you might see yourself getting irritated, or that you don't want to listen to mom or dad. It's not because you are bad, we understand that, but try to control it. Try to control it. Don't be under the power of your emotions. Don't be under the power of instinct. Become over your instinct. Control your instinct. Don't just answer. So teach them to cope with those changes. Teach them what is happening to them. Let them know the things that are happening to them, and let them know that it's not because they are like that, that it's just because of the chemical reaction that is happening in their body. So another thing you want to do for the children at this age is that you want to encourage them to grow. You want to give them, you want to create for them an environment of freedom for them to explore. Let them explore themselves. Let them explore different opportunities. Maybe you want to encourage them to read more, to do new things, give them different options, create different environment for them to be able to grow and to be able to express themselves. Another thing you want to do for them at this age is you want to show them more of love, softness in love. You want to show them not tough love at this point, but softness in love. You want to show them soft love. You want to hug them more. You want to touch them, talk to them, joke with them, laugh with them more. Make them do things that will help them to relax, to be more relaxed. And you also want to, make sure that you don't provoke them at this time. Make sure that you don't provoke them, you don't argue with them, agree with them more, treat them more like adults, and encourage them more. Ask them to do things through encouragement rather than through command. Talk to them more, through suggestion, that I think maybe you want to do this or something, and give them more liberty. Maybe you need them to do this thing now, but they might do it maybe 1 hour later. So have more patience with them. Have more patience with them. So parents need a lot of patience at this time, and you need a lot of closeness to them, to be patient with them, to be more understanding with them, and to try to build more close relationship. To a large extent, between the age of 15 and 17, you will think you have a new child. You will think that is not your child again. You might think that something has happened, that they have changed your child. So you have to actually basically get to know that child all over again. It is getting to know that baby all over again. You have to just get to discover him again. You'll be discovering new things in him, new qualities, and new child in your baby. So, make sure that you are not afraid as parents. Make sure that you are not afraid of this period. Make sure that you don't go panicky, because when those changes begin to come, a lot of parents begin to become panic, and they are afraid, and because they are panic, they begin to make a lot of mistakes, and they begin to make things worse for themselves. But instead of panicking, just relax with them and just laugh over it and let them enjoy it. Make sure, tell yourself that you are going to enjoy the process, and tell him and her or your daughter also that they are going to enjoy the process. That is a process of change. That is an exciting and interesting. Just even explain to them to even expect all those things, so that they will be joking over it with you, and you laugh over it, and they will know, that these are normal things, and that they will overcome it, and that it's not going to last for long. So show them and overwhelm them with love, and so let them know that they are not going through this situation alone, and that you are passing through it together with them. That you are passing through it together with them. Of course, at this time, they don't want to be around you too much. At this time, a lot of these children, they don't want to be around their parents a lot. They want to some of them want to even distance themselves from their parents. They don't even want their friends to see them together with you. So respect that sometimes. If they don't want to go out with you, they don't want their colleagues or their friends to see them together with you. Okay, just know that it is a temporary thing. Don't be annoyed. Don't be embarrassed. Just know that, it's okay. It will get over it. It will get over it. So don't begin to put barriers or some, and some limitations on his way. If you put some prohibitions and begin to ban him and prohibit him from doing a lot of things, that's only going to make things worse. That's only going to make things worse. So don't provoke your child at this time. Make sure that you rather support them. The only thing that you want to pay attention to is that they don't become rude, and they don't become criminals and do things that are against the law at this time. Make sure you watch over them, that they don't begin to fall into the wrong hands and into the wrong companies, where they will begin to do unlawful things like drugs or smoke or drink, or or stealing things and something, because they want to experiment themselves. Sometimes under the wrong influence, they might experiment themselves in bad things also. At this time, it is important that you praise him a lot. Give him a lot of praise, give him a lot of compliment the way they look, compliment the way they try, compliment their success, rejoice with them in their success. The things that they are trying, and let them know that they are trying, and get them involved with the church activities at this time. Get them involved with the community activity. Get them involved with social activities, sportive activities, and give them options where they could choose what to do, so that they will be able to express themselves. And that is one of the things that they really want to do at this time. Now, at this time also, parents should understand that these children will be making a lot of mistakes. They will be doing some things wrong, and they will be, they might be rude sometimes, they might be angry sometimes, they might be depressed sometimes, they might have mood swings sometimes. Sometimes they might, raise their voice, but you have to be more covering. You have to be more forgiving as parents at this time. And you have to let them know that, everybody can make mistakes, and that, you must let them know that you cover for them, you forgive for them. So they must also know that you are more forgiving at this time, that you are more tolerating, and that you are more, you are more supportive of them, even in their mistakes and in their imperfection. So instead of just correcting them all the time, sometimes you might want to just close your eyes and say, don't worry about it. Even when they are failing and making mistakes, you might want to support them and comfort them and say, okay, forget about it, it's okay. We'll get over it. At this time of their growth, in between the age of 15 and 17, these children really appreciate truthfulness. They appreciate truthfulness and honesty. So they want you to be honest with them. They want you to even tell them your own experience, and to but they don't want you to use your experience to tell them how to live. They don't want you to tell them how to live, but they just want to appreciate your sincerity and that you are sincere with them and that you are truthful with them and that you are direct with them. That will also help them to be able to open up to you and be more direct. They are very sensitive to lies at this time. They are very sensitive to self-righteousness. So they don't want you as the parents to behave as if you are the one who knows it all. They don't want you to behave as if you are the one that is next to Angel Gabriel or Holy Mary. They don't want holy thing. They don't want hypocrisy. They don't want too holy kind of attitude. So just for you to be more moderate and more liberal with them. And you yourself should be able to admit some of your faults and some of your weaknesses. And they appreciate that rather than you just telling them that you are perfect and they are the ones who are not perfect. So that kind of openness and truthfulness with them will really help them to be more trusting and to open themselves up to you also much more better. Of course, at this time, they want to relate more with their friends than with you. The people who influence them more at this stage are their colleagues, their peers, their friends, people they see on the television and the newspapers. They are more, they come under the influence of people outside than the parents. They kind of look down on the advice and the influence of the parents. But this, it's just for the meantime. But if you are able to become their friends, then that doesn't happen to them. Then they still count you as their best friends and their confidence. So you let them have more freedom at this time with their friends so that they could go out with their friends to do more sports, hobby, maybe to invite their friends to the house, or for them to go out and play with their friends more, or spend more time with their friends, maybe, to do some things together with people of their age. So maybe you want at this time your children to be more involved with the youth group, with the maybe praise and worship group in the church, or with the sports groups or some clubs. Those will also help them. So make sure that they are not afraid of you. Make sure they are not afraid that they will bring their friends and you will not understand or something like that. Make sure that you let them have that freedom, that they have the freedom to bring their friends, to open up and to do everything that they would like to do, unless things that are sinful. At this point, of course, your child will become more resolute and more stronger in his own opinion, more stubborn. It will be pushing forward his own opinion, and he will be much more bolder in expressing himself, in saying this. He will be more willing to argue with you, to debate you, and to affirm his own rightness, that he is right and you are wrong. He's more willing to argue with you that what he is doing is right. So, when he becomes stronger, you should just make sure that you are willing to compromise and to become softer and to step back a little bit just for the sake of winning him, rather than arguing with him or telling him he's wrong and, losing him. You don't want to lose him as a result of that, because he's still looking for himself and he wants to affirm himself. He wants to show himself that he's a man or he's a woman that is independent, that is grown up, is an adult. So that's why he's going to be insisting on doing things in his own way. He wants to find his own self. He wants to find his style. So he might be experimenting with his look, with his hairstyle, with his, with the way he dresses, with the way he looks. Give him a lot of freedom to be able to do that as well. So don't use, prohibition and banning as your instrument at this time. Use more liberty, freedom, and more respect and honor to him as well. That will really help more than trying to just prohibit and ban him. You can also use a lot of jokes and laughing, and that also will help. that to make sure that you will think that you understand him better. Okay, so let me conclude this message. How do you respond as a parent? What are the things that you must remember as a parent at this stage? Number one, don't give them false hope. Don't don't be telling them something and you don't do it. Make sure that you are always truthful to your children at this time, because they are very sensitive to lies. They are very sensitive to Pharisaism. They don't want you to be a Pharisee. They don't want you to say something and leave another one. They don't want you to be hypocritical. Anything that you are doing wrong, they are going to jump on it, and they are going to think that you don't deserve their respect. And so they are going to rather go out and listen to other people. They might stop going to church. They might not be interested in church at this age, especially if they see that your life doesn't line up, that you are living one way and you are talking, you are against the way you are teaching them to live. So you want to be sincere with them at this stage, and you want to be real with them. So that's one of the things that are really important at this stage for your children. Make sure that you are not over righteous, you are not over holy, and that you come to their level. You come to their level, no hypocrisy. Number two, don't correct them in the presence of other people. Don't correct them openly or in the presence of other people. They think it's a disgrace, and they are more sensitive about their authority and their image at this time. So you want to protect them and be supportive of them, especially publicly, and most of the time even privately. Number three thing that you want to be careful to do is that even if they are disobedient, even if they are not listening to you, even if they don't do what you are telling them to do, be more patient with them. Express more patience, and don't try to kill them or to crucify them immediately. Give them more patience, give them second chance, and just remind them with love and laugh over matters more rather than getting annoyed more. Next point that you want to do with them, you want to listen to them more, and you want to talk more with them as friends, more like friends and history, just chatting rather than giving instruction. Don't give too much instructions. Don't give too much teaching. Just give too much. Just make sure that you're just expressing yourself and exchanging like discussion, more from instruction to discussion. Next thing you want to do, you want to make sure that you have a trustworthy relationship with them. Show them that you trust them. Show them that you trust him. Tell him always that you trust him, you believe in him. Tell him that you believe in him. Give him more compliment, give him more support, trust. Show him respect. Show him compliment, respect, and honor. And that will make him to be softened, not to be so hardened against you, but to soft down and to want to treat you, equally as well. Treat him like a grown-up person. Treat him like a grown-up person. It was nice talking to you guys, and I hope it was helpful. God bless. Bye.